Weather coming up on 7:59 on your Friday morning drive. Not in too bad a shape. There's the live look at I-5 in Clark County. You can remember yesterday this was terrible. Today we are zipping right along, so no problems on that side of town. Door number 4 takes us down into the Twilliger Curves. They are working to get that earlier truck that was involved in a crash, off the shoulder there. So there's a little bit of local slowing getting around that. But otherwise, as we look at the drive times, we are rolling along just fine on a Friday morning. Rod?
Yeah, the roads are more damp in spots than wet. We've only had reports of just traceable amounts of light showers pushing through the area this morning, which is what we expected. And it looks like we were right not to put out an impact alert because there really hasn't been enough rain to be impactful. With that said, there has been more shower activity up to our north in Washington than here in Oregon. Everything you're looking at on radar is light showers, including out through the Dalles. Here's downtown Portland with the clouds, and we are at 67 degrees. The rain will pick up this evening and overnight tonight, but your weekend looks to be mainly dry tomorrow with a high of 76, 78 on Sunday.
Right now on KGW Plus, we're hearing from the family of 2 people stabbed in their Longview home, attacked, police say, by their handyman.
He didn't have to do that. He could have done anything else. She'd still be with us.
Also this hour, a 16-year-old drowns while swimming in the Columbia, swept under by the current.
Immediately I felt the current. I was trying to get to him and he disappeared.
We're going to hear more from that man who says he saw the boy struggling and jumped into the river to try and save him. Then later.
A lot is on the line in today's highly anticipated summit between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, with hopes that it's a step toward ending the Russian assault on Ukraine. I'm Alice Barr in Washington with the latest details coming up.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Friday. I'm China Green.
And here comes Chris McGinnis and Rodney Hill joining us here to kick off the 8 o'clock hour of Sunrise. We've got traffic, we've got weather, and Rodney, we've got rain.
Yes, we do. Not much, though, until we get into this evening and overnight. So if you look out your neighborhood street, you're probably going to see a little dampness more than it being wet. Radar doesn't show a whole lot. What it does show is some scattered traceable amounts of light showers pushing through. It's been wetter at the beach. No surprise here. Here's Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City with the raindrops falling, 62 degrees. Downtown Portland, we're currently dry, but we've seen a few light showers move through. We're at 67. So basically, it's a very gray, overcast day. Temperatures won't do much. 68 at noon, 73 the high. Just a passing light shower from time to time through about 5 o'clock. Now, this evening and overnight, that's when we get that heavier rain that we've been tracking coming through. It still looks like that is through by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That opens the door for a nice weekend. Here's Chris.
Hey, Rod, thanks for that. We start with the TriMet alert. TriMet reporting a mechanical issue near the Rose Quarter, which is creating some delays on the Green Line, and another mechanical issue right now near OMSI, creating 15-minute delays, up to 15-minute delays on the Orange and Yellow Line. So just be aware of that. In Yamhill County, we've got a traffic alert. Highway 233, ODOT reporting that this is closed right now due to a crash. I have no details on injuries or the severity of the crash, but I can tell you 233 right now closed, and ODOT is suggesting Airport Road as your best detour around that. I-5 from Clark County zipping right along. I've got really no major freeway trouble out there this morning. ODOT trying to tow a vehicle here off the shoulder down southbound near the Twilliger Curves. But outside of that, we are zipping right along, guys. We're pretty close to a speed limit clip in the 8 o'clock hour here on Friday morning.
All right, thank you, Chris. Top news story this hour, we have new details in the murder investigation of a Longview woman whose family told us that the man accused of killing her and also stabbing her brother-in-law was working at her home as a handyman.
Police found him and arrested him this week in Los Angeles. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson brings us the latest on this case from the KGW newsroom. Corey.
China Drew Alexander Lee Rogers was arrested Tuesday, a week after police responded to a home and found the 2 adults. 64-year-old Don Peters died at the scene, and 73-year-old Andrew Peters was airlifted to the hospital and is now recovering. Now, the victims were in-laws, and Rogers knew them. Family and neighbors say Rogers had worked briefly for the family as a handyman. Police say Rogers was released from prison 10 months ago after serving more than 2 decades for attacking 2 people with a machete. On Monday, Los Angeles area authorities found Rogers' BMW after he was spotted in the area. Someone recognized him from the news and reported his location. A relative of the victim says their family is mourning a grave loss.
He didn't have to do that. He could have done anything else. she'd still be with us. Everybody loved her. She was like your best friend, your mom, your grandma, anything and everybody would call her all the time. She'd give the biggest hugs. And every family dinner is not going to be the same.
Longview police detectives are in Los Angeles investigating the suspect's car for additional evidence. Dawn's family is now working to cover funeral expenses and have started a GoFundMe. China?
Corey, thank you. Our other top story this morning, Vancouver police say they recovered the body of a 16-year-old boy who drowned in the Columbia River on Wednesday.
It happened at Frenchman's Bar Regional Park. That's a popular swimming spot near Vancouver Lake. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz brings us the latest.
Well, here in Vancouver, we spoke to a man who saw it all unfold. He says he saw that teen struggling against the water. He actually ran in to the river to try to help and save him, but it was already too late.
He got, I think, tired. And so before he even made it to that point where he could rest and hold on to something, the current started pulling him downward.
Alex Watson was along the river with his daughter when he saw the teen struggling. Watson says the boy yelled for help. He then jumped in, swimming against the current to try to reach him.
Immediately I felt the current. I was trying to get to him and he disappeared, like when I was probably 30 to 40 feet away from him, just gone.
The river at Frenchman's Bar may look calm, but officials say it can be dangerous. Clark County fire officials say the first 10 to 15 feet of the shoreline along the water is pretty benign, but after that, there's a big drop off. The boy's body was recovered yesterday. Police still haven't said yet who the 16-year-old was, although we're expecting more information from the Clark County Medical Examiner's office later sometime next week. In Vancouver, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
The Coast Guard has suspended its search in the mysterious disappearance of a fisherman. The 65-year-old was last heard from last Friday. His boat was sending out an automatic navigation signal, so crews tracked it down the Oregon coast all the way to Eureka, California. But once they found the boat, there was no sign of the fisherman on board. Crews searched more than 2,100 square miles with no luck. They say there was also never a distress call.
Portland police arrested a man who they say jumped into the Columbia River to try and get away from them. Police say 27-year-old Tanner Miles ran a red light near the Cascade Station Transit Center, and when officers tried to pull him over, they say he took off. Shortly after that, police say they got a call about a man who was heading north in the southbound lanes of I-205 near the airport. So it turns out that wrong-way driver was Miles. Officers say he eventually got off the freeway and out of his car, leading police on a foot chase through an airport parking lot and then a wooded area near the freeway. They caught him after he jumped into the river. Miles faces several charges, including reckless driving and eluding police.
At least one person appears to have died from heat-related illness this week. Multnomah County health officials said that they're investigating the death of a 59-year-old man who was found in southeast Portland earlier this week. Right now, his death is suspected to be heat-related, though confirmation could take several weeks. If that's the case, this would be the first reported heat-related death in the county this year.
We'll stay in Multnomah County for this next story. The county's chief operating officer is launching an independent investigation into how the county handles conflicts of interest. An outside law firm will review policies on hiring and training and evaluate employees who could either profit from their positions or be influenced by outside interests. The move follows the recent removal of Preschool for All director Leslie Barnes, whose child care center became the focus of a state audit. All right, before we get to Rod's forecast, little news about the Blazers. Their season starts here in 2 months, and we're excited to tell you that 6 Blazers games this year will play out right here on KGW. So here's a look at those 6 games, starting with the November 18th matchup at home against the Suns. You can check out more about the team's schedule, including the games that we're airing, at KGW.com. The Blazers, by the way, will kick off their season on October 22nd at home against the Timberwolves.
Tough start to the season there for the boys.
Yeah, I think it was Jay, our editor, saying the first 10 games of the year features 5 of the toughest teams out west.
Woof.
Well, you find out what you've got and then you move on, I guess.
More importantly, China Green. Oh, darn it. Never mind. Never mind, Rod.
Never mind.
I was going to ask a question to China if she could beat you in a one-on-one game, but we'll save it for
basketball?
later.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right, there you go.
She might have me on that.
You might have to move on.
I'm getting pretty slow these days. I don't dribble the ball much anymore. Here's a look at our temperature map. We have cloudy skies. We've had some light rain, and that continues to be the case today. So It's a rain jacket Friday. I mean, if you're out for a long stretch of time, you'll probably find at least some sprinkles or a light shower at some point. We're 62, Seattle, where it's much wetter than what Portland's been. They've picked up over 1/4 of an inch already. Portland's at 67. It's dry in Bend. It will be today. It's dry out east with sunshine, where it will be sunny all day. Baker City's at 56. Here's Futurecast. Let's focus on the west side and today's rain. So cloudy skies this morning. It just doesn't show much rain. Here we are at 1 o'clock. Now we got rain picking up along the coast and maybe into Longview, Kelso. But Portland, Salem, still not much. Here we are at 5 o'clock. Rain, Kelso, Longview, the coast, Portland, Salem, down Eugene. Still not much. Not a bad afternoon. I'm not sure if we get everybody home by, say, 6 o'clock from the commute or 7 without much rain or not. At some point this evening, rain will pick up. The latest model runs really like pretty good soak moving through the area in the 8, 9 o'clock hour this evening, and then that rain just keeps coming well into the overnight. Here we are at 3 a.m. Now the front is pushing through and the rain is starting to clear, and then you wake up in the morning and most of the rain is over. This shows some traceable amounts of light showers lingering mainly in the Cascade Foothill communities, and then as we go through your Saturday, we open up partly sunny skies. A spotty shower chance tomorrow, yes, but overall your weekend looks to be dry. Partly sunny both days, Saturday and Sunday. 32/100ths of an inch in Portland is what we could get. Almost all of that will come this evening and overnight. So this afternoon, I mentioned the sun in central and eastern areas. You folks have a shower threat tomorrow, but not today. Today it's the clouds and mainly light showers during the daytime hours here on the west side. 7-day forecast, so if I'm right, the weekend is good. 76 tomorrow. 70s on Sunday, and then 80s as we get going into next week. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. Our Friday morning drive has been relatively kind to us here. A disabled vehicle on the side of the road here looks like it's been finally towed out of there. This is I-5 southbound near Terwilliger. So outside of that, we're in fine shape. Despite the rain forecast, ODOT, as of yesterday anyway, says that this is still a go, the 5th and final weekend closure of northbound 217 from 99 Doubly to Shoals Ferry. That closure kicks in tonight at 9, reopens at 5 o'clock on Monday morning. And heads up, next week and actually for the next month, if you go to and from the North Oregon coast on Highway 26, ODOT is doing significant repairs to that area where the landslide caused some buckling on the road over the winter. That's about 4 miles east of Decanicum. The traffic impact is going to be pretty significant. That's an area where it's 4 lanes. They'll close 2 of those lanes, so 1 lane getting by each direction, and speed limit reductions. Again, this is going to be Monday through Thursday, 6 to 4:30, starting next week for the next 4 weeks at least. We'll keep you posted.
All right, good heads up, Chris. Thank you for that.
It has been deeply challenging to live in survival mode and to be in sort of a fight or flight place.
Portland Center Stage lives to see another season after meeting the first part of its $9 million funding goal. We're going to tell you more about this in our next segment. And we're also going to take it to California. The state announces new plans to redraw California's congressional maps. What this has to do with the situation in Texas, coming up in our national headlines.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Portland Center Stage says its upcoming season is secure after concerns that the curtain would fall for good.
KGW's Catherine Cook shows us how support from the community and state lawmakers made sure that the theater shows will go on.
It's a really powerful, exciting day.
A day of celebration inside the Portland Armory after months sprinkled with drama.
Theater at its best.
An unavoidable plot, which Portland Center Stage laid out in May. The city's largest theater company needed to raise $9 million in just over a year or face possible closure. On Tuesday, they announced they're well on their way with $3.6 million. That's $1 million more than their first benchmark and 2 weeks ahead of schedule.
So it's amazing to sit here right now. You know, there's always a moment of doubt in the beginning, but this moment kind of erases all of that, and it's super motivating.
Edwina Kane is Director of Development with Portland Center Stage. Kane says nearly 2,000 donors opened their wallets and wrote checks for as little as $5. State lawmakers stepped up too with a bill supporting arts and culture. For Portland Center Stage, that meant $1.5 million.
And that's just, it's exciting. I'm actually getting goosebumps right now thinking about it.
The impact on our community does matter.
Artistic Director Marissa Wolf says since the pandemic, funding and ticket sales haven't been consistent. One season promising, the next discouraging. All of it, Wolf says, as the company operated without an endowment or line of credit.
The expression sort of building the plane as you're flying it. It has been deeply challenging to live in survival mode and to be in sort of a fight or flight place.
Of the $9 million they're raising, $4 million will cover annual expenses for the season that kicks off in October. The remaining $5 will give Portland Center Stage enough reserves to ensure the company's future and protect what audiences hold dear.
Have a chance to laugh collectively or to feel a sense of ache and longing and healing and collective imagination and possibility. That's what the theater offers.
In Northwest Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
All right, Rodney Hill back in the mix. China Green, can you read her mind? Can you read China's mind? Because I see what she's saying. She's saying, how wet will it be this weekend, Rod? You see that?
Is he right?
No.
Oh.
No, I was going to say, when are we going to see 95 again?
95 again. I have an answer to that. So the models are hinting that somewhere around the 24th, 25th of August, we could get back into another run of 2 or 3 days of at least reaching 90.
Okay.
Yeah.
Summer ain't over yet.
So, and that's a ways out. So we've got a stretch of comfortable weather coming. We have the thick cloud cover today. Here it is, moving in. It's going to be a very gray Friday, very gray. But during the day here in Oregon, and even this morning at the coast, not really bad to be out and about. Portland, Salem, and Vancouver, it's just going to be a light shower from time to time at most. So you might choose to have a rain jacket if you're going to be outside for an extended period of time. So far, you've only had traces of rain. You can see rain starting to pick up offshore from Washington. It's going to be much wetter during this entire event to our north and less wet to our south. Right now, locally, radar is just not showing a whole lot. The roads are more damp here in the valley than wet from traces of rain. Now, the cameras had raindrops on it pretty much all morning down Lincoln City. Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera, 62 is the number there. It's been raining all morning lightly up at Timberline, but it's been going on for a while. 49, temperatures won't budge up at the lodge today. 6,000 feet, going to be holding right about 50 degrees. And we've had clouds and manageable rainfall out through the Dalles this morning in Wasco County as well. 66 is the number. Winds are expected to pick up somewhat this afternoon, west 10 to 20 mile per hour stuff in the gorge. Here's downtown Portland, 67 degrees. Again, it's just kind of damp outside, but not really what I would call wet. Futurecast shows this morning, shows into this afternoon. Here we are at 1 o'clock. At any time, there could be some light showers or some mist in your area, but there's just not going to be much in the way of manageable rainfall until we get into this evening. In fact, here we are at 5 o'clock. This shows rain picking up in Clark County, Longview, and along the coast, but maybe not so much in Portland, Salem, Eugene. I don't have a good handle for when the rain starts picking up this evening. Could be early this evening, or it could be not until we get into mid-evening. But eventually, Futurecast loves it raining pretty good at 9 p.m. Eventually this evening into the overnight, we get that rain band we've been talking about. And it still looks like that's a pretty good soak. Here we are at 3 a.m. overnight. The front's pushing through. The rain moves out. You wake up in the morning, and outside of some lingering showers, maybe near the foothill communities of the Cascades, we're pretty much dry. And then your Saturday, a spotty shower chance, yes, but overall, tomorrow and Sunday still look to be dry during the day. If you're going out to the LPGA, the Portland Classic Professional Golf Tournament, for the most part, it's going to be dry and partly cloudy and in the 70s and really nice. Valley forecast numbers for today: under the clouds and the ongoing light shower chance, 74 in Salem, 71 up in Longview. Greater numbers of light showers up in Vancouver and Clark County than we'll see down in the Mid-Valley. And then here's your weekend. A big story here is that most of the rain is this evening and overnight, and then we're mainly dry this weekend, with partly sunny skies developing and nice weather into next week, as you can see. All right, here's Chris.
You know what the traffic story is this morning? There is none. It's wide open. We are in much better shape right now than we were earlier this morning or yesterday. There's I-5 through North Portland, zipping right along at a speed limit commute. 205 between Oregon City and Westland through the construction zone over the Abernathy Bridge. That's in pretty good shape as well. Door number 3 takes us over to the Sylvan Hill. It's getting a little bit busier there, but again, nothing really to hold up the commute. Our drive rolling along at a speed limit drive time here in from Hillsborough. 15 minutes from Brookwood Parkway to I-405. Same thing coming out of Troutdale, and I-5 from Wilsonville. 17 minutes to get you into downtown. We'll be right back.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Thousands of low-income senior workers have been reportedly furloughed following a delay in federal funding.
It's causing concern for some seniors in the Seattle area, including a group of Asian American and Pacific Islanders. Here's Brady.
Senseless and devastating and creating tremendous hardship.
A couple words describing the delay in federal funding for a program many seniors living below the poverty line across the nation rely on.
This program is not one that should be cut. It serves as a bridge and a vital safety net for some of our most vulnerable elders.
The Trump administration is holding up money for a key federal employment program for seniors. It's the only federal job program that provides unemployed, low-income adults 55 and older with part-time community service jobs. Clayton Fong says the nonprofit he runs usually receives about $15 million in grant funding each year in July. But this year, the DOL told them it's reviewing the grants and hopes to provide an update soon. With funds on hold, the center has furloughed 52 seniors, many elderly Asian and Pacific Islanders in Western Washington.
I could give you 52 stories of how this program makes such a profound difference in people's lives.
One of those stories is from 72-year-old John Zung, who shared his experience through an interpreter. He worked in this program as a multilingual helpline agent the last year and a half until last month, when he was furloughed.
I just want them to resume this program as soon as possible, because not only for me, it's for a lot of elders like me.
Now he's relying on a small check he gets from retirement. John is very concerned he won't make next month's rent.
He's eating less and buying less to find a balance between all these expenses, and also he's trying hard to get a job.
Pressure that continues to build until the funding is resumed.
I would hope that they would try to find a way to pull this out of the bottom of the pile and stick it on the top.
That was Brady Wakayama reporting. Here in Oregon, Easter Seals says it's laying off 12 employees and pausing more than 220 paid training positions for older, low-income adults. The nonprofit also pointed to the ongoing uncertainties surrounding funding from the U.S. Department of Labor.
Here's a look at some national headlines this morning with your Morning Rush. California Governor Gavin Newsom announced a new plan to redraw the state's congressional maps. This move is a bit of a preemptive strike by the state of California after President Trump attempted to redraw congressional boundaries in Texas. California's legislature plans to consider the governor's redistricting measure on Monday. Washington, D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab is suing to block what he calls the Trump administration's, quote, hostile takeover of D.C. police. Yesterday, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi appointed DEA Administrator Terrence Cole to serve as the city's emergency police commissioner. But Schwab says this move to replace D.C.'s police chief exceeds federal authority and threatens the city's right to self-govern. The mother of Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos has died. Jacqueline Bezos battled a brain disorder for the past 5 years. In 2021, she helped start the philanthropic Bezos Family Foundation and was known for her generosity and dedication to family. Jackie Bezos was 78. And that's a look at your Morning Rush.
Coming up in our next half hour, the latest from Alaska, where President Trump plans to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin today to discuss an end to Russia's war with Ukraine. Then later, everything you need to know to save yourself some money this back-to-school season, whether your kids are off to kindergarten or college. KGW News at Sunrise continues after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On weather impact alert days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Good morning, I'm Drew Carney. Vancouver police say they recovered the body of a 16-year-old boy who drowned in the Columbia River on Wednesday. This happened at Frenchman's Bar Regional Park, a popular swimming spot near Vancouver Lake. Witnesses say they saw the boy struggling, and a man told us that he jumped in the river to help, but he wasn't able to save him. Police have not released the boy's name. All right, Rod Hill, let's talk about some of that rain in your forecast.
Yeah, let's look at radar. We have solid cloud cover here on the west side. We've got rain gathering, a lot of it coming inland to Washington up to our north. So far, Portland and Salem, it's been just a trace of light rain, and we think we get through much of today with the same sort of thing, a thick overcast, but just traceable amounts of light showers for the most part passing from time to time. Our number right now is 67 degrees. It's more damp out than wet currently. High today 73. Now rain will pick up this evening. We still have that heavier rain band overnight tonight. Maybe a quarter to half of an inch of rain with that, but that should be through by sunup tomorrow morning, and that would leave us with a primarily dry, partly sunny Saturday and Sunday.
NASA's Perseverance rover has found another strange object on Mars. Ooh. It's another rock. Oh. NASA released this image of that rock captured on August 5th. The rock has a pointed peak, a flared brim, and it kind of just looks like a witch's hat. The image was chosen as the photo of the week for the Perseverance's 234th week on Mars.
I think it's interesting that that rock kind of resembles a witch's hat, and you, China, got to read that story. See the
what are you saying?
Whoa. I'm just saying happy Friday.
Oh.
Happy Friday, everybody. Here we are. Where are you going, Ron?
I'm thinking I should get out of here before things get ugly.
It's not our problem. It's his problem.
It's just getting good around here, Ron.
That's his problem. We'll stay over here.
What do you got for us weather-wise, pal?
Love you, China. So
I'm
covering myself here.
Love you
All right.
so much.
We've got rain showers with cloudy skies showing up on radar, but so far it's literally been just a trace of rain in Portland, Salem, and Vancouver. Radar's not picking up the rain falling out of the low cloud deck at the coast, but we know our Lincoln City camera from Schnookwynn's Casino Resort has been quite wet much of the morning, and here it is still, well, quite wet, right? 62 degrees is the number there. Portland, again, more damp so far than wet. We're at 67. This will be a very thick overcast throughout the day like we don't get in August very often. I have a 68 at noon, 73 for a high. Just some light showers at times. At some point this evening, I don't have a good handle on the timing, but at some point this evening, rain will pick up. Then we get that heavier rain band into the overnight hours. But during the day, Chris, and maybe even the drive back home, perhaps not that wet, sir.
We'll take it. We'll take it. And you know what? This morning, our drive out there is in really, really good shape. Certainly beats yesterday's morning. Here's I-5 through North Portland up near the Expo Center. Southbound I-5 zipping right along at a speed limit clip here. We'll switch gears real quick, take you down to Oregon City and West Lynn, I-205 near the Abernathy Bridge. That is the Abernathy Bridge there. There's your southbound 205 drive. That's in good shape as well. So really no major issues out there just yet. The freeway drive, again, at a speed limit clip on that side of town. I-5 from Clark County, just 10 minutes from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. China?
Thank you, Chris. Today, President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin are set to meet in Alaska to discuss a possible end to Russia's war with Ukraine.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, though, will not be in attendance. NBC's Alice Barr brings us the latest on this from Washington, D.C.
This morning, President Trump heading to Alaska to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin face-to-face in the hopes of moving a step closer to ending Russia's 3-year all-out assault on Ukraine.
If it's a bad meeting, it'll end very quickly. And if it's a good meeting, we're going to end up getting peace in the pretty near future.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was not invited to Alaska, but President Trump hopes for a swift follow-up, including all parties.
All I want to do is set the table for the next meeting, which should happen shortly.
Zelensky meeting instead this week with European allies, signaling their support and determination to hold the line against further Russian aggression, including prioritizing a ceasefire and security guarantees for Ukraine over any talk of giving up Ukrainian territory.
They'll be discussed, but I've got to let Ukraine make that decision.
the president's hope is to achieve some stoppage of fighting so that those conversations can happen.
Secretary of State Rubio among the high-level U.S. officials set to join today's talks following a one-on-one between Presidents Trump and Putin and capped by a press conference, though it's not clear if both presidents will take questions. During a 2018 Helsinki summit, President Trump took criticism for appearing to defer to Putin over questions about Russian meddling in the 2016 election. In recent weeks, he's sharpened his tone as Putin has defied repeated calls to stop the assault on Ukraine.
We get a lot of bull thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth.
Now voicing optimism that both sides will agree to a long-sought peace.
Ahead of today's meeting, Putin praised what he called the U.S.'s energetic and sincere efforts to stop the fighting. Critics are adamant that he not be rewarded for his aggression, some saying that's already happened with this meeting on U.S. soil. The White House rejects that, arguing it's worth the effort to try for peace. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
In other national news, a federal judge shot down the Trump administration's guidance aimed at eliminating DEI programs at schools and universities. The judge ruled that the U.S. Education Department violated the law when it threatened to pull federal funding from schools that continued their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. There has been no comment yet from the Education Department, which at this point is supposed to drop that guidance. Meanwhile, a vigil was held outside Portland City Hall for the journalists killed in Gaza last weekend. People brought flowers and held signs to honor the 6 journalists who were killed in an airstrike last Sunday. Event organizers say they're calling for Portland to sever its sister city ties with Ashkelon. That's a city in Israel. The people we talked to at the vigil say the journalists who were reporting inside Gaza gave them a new perspective on the war.
A lot of people here have followed his reporting for many months and feel a connection with him in particular. In the last couple of years, the truth has come out in a big way.
The Israeli military claims one of the journalists killed was actually a terrorist and was responsible for advancing rocket attacks against Israeli civilians. The Israeli military, though, did not respond to a request for evidence of that claim.
The Portland Criterium is back this year and expanding to 2 full days. This weekend, more than 300 athletes are slated to participate in the urban bicycle race along routes in the Pearl District and Lloyd District. A Criterium, if you're not familiar, is a short-circuit bicycle race typically held on closed city streets featuring fast-paced courses.
Portland, one of the best cycling cities, but it's also events like this that take place downtown and other parts of Portland that really bring the cycle community together.
In terms of like keeping things weird, this is pretty weird, right? Having a bike race, especially a fast-paced one like this, around a mall, very unique and very Portland in my opinion. And Lloyd is a great place for it because we're so transportation focused.
Steeplejack Brewing is the presenting sponsor, so that means beer gardens and food carts too. You can visit portlandcriterium.com for more information.
Hey, coming up here starting September 2nd, the city is extending pay-to-park hours in and around downtown Portland until 10 o'clock at night. Areas impacted by the extended hours include Old Town and the Pearl District. Late-night parking hours were already extended in the Central East Side earlier this month, and it's also happening in Northwest Portland starting October 1st.
Your time now is 8:37, headed over to Chris McGinnis. Do we have a Friday light on our hands?
We definitely do. So while I've got your attention on that, let's talk about something that folks maybe heading to the North Oregon coast will see this weekend and then be impacted by for the next month, starting on Monday. The bump. Remember the bump, the landslide that was moving and creating a big dip in Highway 26 near Nickennicum. That's about 13 miles east of the 101 split. ODOT's been doing work on that, and they're about to do a lot of work starting next week. They got the excavators and the pipes and all that stuff out, and what that means, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not so big, but Monday through Thursday, their work week from 6 to 4:30, there will be lane closures and speed reductions on that stretch of Highway 26. A busy travel time through the Oregon Coast Range. So you'll see some of the prep work for that this weekend, and then the work will actually start next week. All right, I-5 through North Portland, that looks good. To China's earlier point, yes, we've got Friday light in full effect. Zipping along at a speed limit clip this morning, guys.
Thank you, Chris. Still to come on Sunrise, we're talking the details and steals of back-to-school shopping.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and tonight at 6:30 on The Story, we're talking Oregon's psilocybin therapy program, also known as magic mushrooms. We'll remind you how the program works and give you the results of the first ever study of the state's psilocybin therapy program for people experiencing depression. Watch The Story tonight live at 6:30 on KGW or anytime on our TV app, KGW+. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
All right, let's talk back to school shopping here on the Sunrise Show, because we know it's not just about getting supplies for the little ones. College kids need school supplies too.
And those dorm room essentials typically cost more than crayons and pencils, especially if you want to make it cute. NBC's Vicki Nguyen looks into some back to school deals that could save you some cash.
With nearly 20 million college students headed to campus this fall, retailers are rolling out big end-of-summer sales on everything from school clothes and supplies to tech and dorm room essentials.
Is back to school second only to the holiday season?
Yes, this store will do more business than December. This is their Super Bowl.
Target Senior Vice President Samir Shah says despite rising tariffs, they're keeping 2024 prices on many back-to-school items, from notebooks and binders to pens and storage bins.
I love the theme that I went with this year.
And with dorm decorating posts going viral on social media,
you are going to absolutely hate the floors that come with your dorm, so make sure you get yourself a rug.
For the first time, many Targets, like this one outside Boston, have entire sections for dorm room design, offering furniture and accessories in 4 distinct styles.
We're always paying attention to what the students are looking for, and our curation of the entire assortment can reflect that.
For Northeastern University students Shannon and Kira, it's one-stop shopping.
It's so easy. All the colors are in like one area in the dorm section, so I can just kind of throw it all together, and it makes sense, and it looks good in the end.
Walmart, do your thing.
Walmart also offering great deals on dorm room merch, even letting students create mock-ups of their space online. Best Buy slashing prices on popular student tech. Amazon Prime offering up to half off select school supplies. And for shoppers ages 18 to 24, a new Prime for Young Adults membership gives cash back on a variety of items and costs half the price of a regular Prime membership.
Tell me how you save money. I typically like to compare prices, and then sometimes I'm not afraid to splurge a little bit if I know the quality's gonna last, because I'm planning on keeping most of my furniture for my future apartments.
The deals aren't just for college kids, with many K-12 schools starting after Labor Day in the Northeast. Retailers also rolling out new sales for younger students.
Bring on the new year with Kohl's Back to School sale.
Starting Monday, Kohl's Friends and Family event will slash prices on kids' apparel, backpacks, and lunchboxes, and give an additional 20% off qualifying purchases. Back at Target, you can get over 1,000 kids' essentials for under $5, from water bottles and headphones to school outfits.
The number one for back to school shopping is things that they really quickly grow out of every year.
With 3 girls under 8, mom Jess Hennessy says stretching her dollar is critical this time of year.
Things are just so expensive, groceries, clothing, utilities. So when I'm shopping for my family, I'm really making sure that I'm getting the best bang for my buck.
All right, from back to school shopping, we go to the school supply need here at KGW. We're asking for your help with this year's KGW School Supply Drive. One of the easiest ways to donate right now is right at the register at your favorite Safeway and Albertson store.
You buy your fried chicken there, it's quite good.
Yes.
They have a nice little Greek salad, and then you give another $5 at the cash register. Yes.
Rod just spelled out your weekend game plan. Help us out, gang. Also this week, it's a good week to donate cash through our website, kgw.com, because Rick's Custom Fencing is matching the first $5,000 donated to the drive this week. If you want to give the old-fashioned way, we've got you covered there as well. We have an in-person school supply drive collection event happening today outside the On Point Community Credit Union location at the Clackamas Promenade. If you're not familiar with this area, it's right across the street from Clackamas Town Center. We're going to be there from 3 hours today between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. I'll be out there as well during the noon hour. A big thanks to On Point and Rick's and Safeway for everything they're doing to make this year's school supply drive a success.
You know, I'm with you guys 40 hours plus a week. I sit next to you hours a week.
This sounds like a complaint so far.
Well, you know, I want to go do some grocery shopping and I get away from you. And then it says, you know, I'm going down on to grab something. Hey, Safeway shoppers, Drew Carney here. I'm like, ugh.
There's an announcement playing at Safeway for the school supply drive, but yeah, it's my annoying voice and I
you.
apologize.
Is that up in Southwest Washington too?
All over the state
everywhere.
and Southwest Washington.
I appreciate the tip. Because I think I will go get myself some I do like their chicken. I'm going to get that for lunch today. I've just made up my mind. We're going to give $20 for our school drive today when I do that.
And I guarantee you will hear this man's voice.
And I'm going to get in really quick and see if I can escape that moment.
Can I whisper the announcement softly during your weather forecast?
Yeah, whatever you feel like you got to do. I'm going to go over to the weather wall right now.
Attention Safeway shoppers, this is KGW's Drew Carney. The KGW School Supply Drive is going on now.
This is the rainfall map. We do hope you take a chance to support our school drive, obviously. It's very important, as you know. 1,200ths of an inch of rain so far up in Astoria. The zeros should be traces, but the auto plot doesn't have a way to plot that. So until you get Maysboro, they just show 0. But Portland's had a trace, Salem's had a trace. The Dalles, good morning, 6/100ths of an inch of some rain has moved through your area. And notice how it's obviously been more wet up in Washington than Oregon. Seattle's had 3/10. If you're going up this direction today, you will find a much, much, much wetter day, more rain than we'll see if you stay home here in the Rose City or in Oregon in general. You see rain really gathering off of the Washington coast right now. The front with this is still on track to cross I-5 to come through Vancouver, Portland, Salem somewhere after midnight tonight. And so it's this evening into the overnight that we get most of our rain. I'll show you the latest futurecast in a moment. Salem right now, McNary Field saying, yep, we've got some rain coming down, 65 degrees. Portland so far, again, has been more damp than wet, just a trace of rain. Here's a pretty quiet look, and you see the overcast skies at Tilcomb Crossing and South Waterfront from the Portland Spirit Landing there down along the Willamette River. It will be a dark day like this. No changes, no brightening up really to speak of. 66 out in the Dalles where you folks have had that rain. It's all dry in Bend, 64. It'll be a beautiful sunny day. It is a nice sunny morning out farther to the east in Burns and John Day. Here's Futurecast. Shows at 9 o'clock this morning, thick cloud cover, not much rain around Portland or Salem. 1 o'clock this afternoon. This shows rain picking up north coast for a rainy afternoon and also picking up around Kelso Longview. So that's pretty wet. But even at 5 o'clock, Portland down to Salem, not much. It's at least possible that when you drive home from work later today in the 5 o'clock hour, that there will be some light rain in the area, but it won't be that much coming down. At some point this evening, rain is going to pick up. Now, Futurecast, the latest models show the rain really getting going in the 8 o'clock hour this evening, and then that just keeps going for hours of widespread soaking rain. The front comes through. Here's 3 a.m. Now the rain's moving through, and you wake up in the morning, and it's pushed through. We've picked up maybe a quarter to even a half of an inch of total rain. And then moving forward tomorrow, there's just not much out there. It's going to be generally a partly sunny, dry weekend after all this. So how's that? Today's the gray day, 73. The light rain, the more substantial rain this evening and overnight, and then the good-looking weekend of temps in the 70s. All right, let's get to our birthday party on a Friday. Happy birthday to you. We've got a 1-year-old, Royalty Harper. Happy birthday to you. A huge day in that family. And then Titus is doubling up today. 2. Happy birthday to you. 2. Love the hat. There's Cameron, 7. Looking hard at work, getting ready for school there, perhaps. Happy birthday to you. Carolyn is 8. Happy birthday to you on this Friday. And we have Helena, who is 8 out in Hood River. Beautiful sunny day there when the picture was taken. Happy birthday. That's our list. Birthdays at KGW.com, and we'll celebrate with you. Here's Chris.
Rod, despite the rain in the forecast, as of yesterday anyway, ODOT, I checked in with them, and they say this project is still a go. This is the 5th and final scheduled weekend closure of 217. It's northbound. It kicks in tonight at 9 o'clock. They're going to be doing paving between 99W and Shoals Ferry. This, of course, largely nearly wrapping up that 217 auxiliary lanes project, which has been ongoing for the last 4 years. So really coming to the conclusion here with some paving again this weekend. Again, ODOT says that is still on. All right, I-5 through North Portland. Southbound commute still zipping right along on that side of town. Highway 26 riding the brake a little bit coming down the hill from the zoo into the Vista Ridge Tunnel, but barely impacting the drive time. It's 16 minutes to get you from Hillsborough, so that's not so bad. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
In our top stories this morning, Vancouver police say they recovered the body of a 16-year-old boy who drowned in the Columbia River on Wednesday. It happened at Frenchman's Bar Regional Park, a popular swimming spot near Vancouver Lake. Witnesses saw the boy struggling, and a man jumped in to try to help but wasn't able to save him. Police haven't yet said who the 16-year-old was. Portland police arrested a man who they say jumped into the Columbia to get away from them. Police say 27-year-old Tanner Miles ran a red light near the Cascade Station Transit Center, and when officers tried to pull him over, he sped away after driving the wrong way on I-205. Miles led officers on a chase through an airport parking lot before jumping into the river. He was then caught. Miles faces several charges, including reckless driving. And we are gearing up for NBA season because the Blazers are slated to play 6 primetime games right here on KGW. So here's a look at the games. Things all start on November 18th at home against the Suns. For a full list of games, head over to our full article on KGW.com.
All right, we have, again, right now, it's more damp than wet here in the city of Roses, if you will. 73 today's high. Light rain at times today, but not much total rain. Not a bad day to be out and about. That changes this evening. Rain comes in, pretty wet night as well, and we think that is over by the time we wake up, and that sets the stage for a nice, partly sunny, becoming weekend Saturday and Sunday.
I've been looking for trouble all morning, cruising for a bruising.
Yeah,
looking
have
for
you found
trouble,
it?
trying to find it so that I could let you know about it, and there is none. Thankfully, Highway 26 inbound. Maybe riding the brakes a little bit there, coming down the hill from the zoo into the tunnel. There's I-5 through North Portland. The speed limit clip, we're pretty close to it for most of our drive. Tells me that we're looking good this morning.
Was it just yesterday you had all those problems in Vancouver?
We had lots of bruises yesterday.
We did not need a repeat.
Yes.
Thank you, Chris. All right, here's a quick look back at some of our favorite moments on the Sunrise Show this week.
So here I am as we get ready for our birthday party. It's a special birthday party today, isn't it?
First birthday that we're celebrating, Rod.
Okay, Drew, how's it going so far?
China Green's birthday is
Whoa!
today.
Here we
In honor
go.
of the occasion, China gets 2 boxes of donuts from Coco Donuts. Boom!
2 boxes.
2 boxes. To be shared with your newsroom colleagues.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
I know it, for sure. Fact.
You
100 degrees Celsius. Fact.
Okay, you say your answer.
100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of water.
You say yours.
Yeah, that's not correct.
You say yours.
100 degrees
I
Celsius.
say 136.
136. You were so confident that he was wrong.
Yeah, not only were you not right, you told me I was wrong,
You
but I
were
was right.
so
What's
confident.
embarrassing is that, well, A, it's embarrassing I don't know that as a meteorologist, it's not memorized. But to your point, when you don't know something and you're confident that the other person's answer is wrong, it's doubly embarrassing.
Hey, Rod Hill also has a new name. He will now be known, because of today's extreme heat, as Hot Rod Hill.
Oh, that's not
Hot Rod Hill.
Hot Rod.
I thought I wasn't going to like it, but I like it. Of course, I wouldn't mind being known as Mr. Cool either.
I was surprised, learned this morning, didn't know that Chris and Rod, both Taylor Swift fans.
I like
Said
your
you're
music,
fans.
sure.
You moved to it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Chris and I moved, man. Yeah.
I don't know, did we move
We're
well?
raising the roof? What are we
Come on,
doing?
let's
Raising the
move.
roof?
Go.
Hey, remember the Rodney? That was like the
Rodney.
kind of the slow.
And then there's the Rod Stir.
Yeah.
And then what do you do when you combine the Rodney and the Rod Stir?
Oh, I can't do that anymore. I'm too old.
Okay. Save it for Saturday, baby. The weekend is upon us.
Get down with your bad self,
The
Rod.
weekend is here.
Hey, we just want to remind you that you can watch Sunrise every day live here exclusively on KGW Plus, not just at 8 o'clock with what you're joining us right now, but at 7. So 2 hours ago, you could have been watching and been in all this fun. We hope you have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.
I would just ask for them to watch.